Hello there, welcome to BuildQ. In today's video, I'm going to be going over a demonstration of Kubernetes and load balancing. This video will be put together in a way that's very easy to digest for beginners. So let's get started. Now, if you take a look in the upper left-hand corner, I went ahead and created a very simple Flask application. It's written in Python. Basically, all it's going to do is whenever you reach the endpoint for this container, the endpoint is just root of it. It's going to just spit out your IP address for the container. That's all. It's very simple. So let's go ahead and move on over to the Docker file. Okay, now we're on the Docker file. So this Docker file is used for building our container that is running our application that we just showed. So we're using a Python base image. It's rather slimmed down. There's not really all too much else that's on there. And then we're installing Flask onto that. After we install Flask, we're going to make sure that we expose the container side port 5000. And then we're running our simple application that we created on the previous page. Well, that about sums it up for the Docker file and the application. After I created both of these, I went ahead and built the container and I pushed it to my own personal container registry. So this is the application that I'm going to be referencing within my Kubernetes manifest script. So let's go ahead and take a look at that script. After opening up my Kubernetes manifest script, you can see that it's broken down into two major parts here. At the top, we have our deployment strategy, and at the bottom, we have our service. So going back up to deployment, we're going to be naming this simple Flask app deployment. We're going to have 20 replicas of this container, and basically all of them are going to have the same base name of simple Flask app. If you come down here to the containers section, once again, the name simple Flask app, and the image that it's going to be pulling down is going to be pulling this from my container registry. So my account name is BuildQ, and then the application or the container is simple Flask app, and it's going to pull down the latest one that I pushed. And then I went ahead and specified here the container port 5000 again. Moving on over to service, the service is going to control a lot of our networking side of things. So this one is going to specify what port we're going to be using as our host port, and then our target port, which is going to be the container side port. And then the type of service that we have here, we're not going to use a cluster IP or anything like that. We're going to be using a load balancer. And you'll see this load balancer in action whenever we run things. Just to go over the expectations for the load balancer, we want it to go ahead and load balance properly between all of the 20 containers that are created within the deployment. So let's go ahead and start running everything, and let's see what kind of results we get. In order to run our Kubernetes cluster, I went ahead and typed in this command here. It is kubectl apply -f and then the name of this manifest file. So I'm going to go ahead and press enter, and it created our deployment strategy and it created our service. Now let's go ahead and see if all of our containers are running. So you want to type in kubectl get pods, and it seems like every one of them is running. And as you can see, they're all named simple Flask app deployment, and they're running, and they're not giving us any kind of errors. Now that it appears that everything is working, let's go ahead and try pinging it. So open up your browser, type in localhost 81 since that's the port that we specified, and then press enter. And as you can see, we have an IP address that's spit back out to us, and this one is 10.1.0.184. And if we refresh, this should start load balancing between all the 20 containers that we have running. So press refresh. Now it's 195. Now it's 188. Now it's 187. Now it's 202. So as you can see, every time that we refresh this, we get a different IP address. That means that our load balancer is working properly and it's distributing all the traffic to every one of the containers that we have running. Okay, and that's going to be the end of the video. So I hope that that was something that was easy to digest for people that are new to Kubernetes and load balancing. So if you have any questions, please ask me, but that's going to be it for now. So thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.